analyses of fractures, and I'm walking at about the pace that a fracture promulgates as they're pushing water into the fluid. So the fracture is growing at about the same pace that I'm walking, which is pretty far removed from an explosion on the ground. Now what's interesting is we all sort of view it going out into the floor, but in reality what would happen is when I got to the wall, I would start walking up the wall. Fractures are actually elliptical because of the pressure regime in the ground. And as you begin to dissipate that pressure, in other words, you pumped it in and the fracture's promulgated and you're losing pressure, what happens is the fracture will start to come back. It will no longer, because of the stress field, no longer go vertically, it'll start to come back to the horizontal. Which is, if you understand Darcy's law as well as the other pressure regimes in the earth, you'll realize that, for instance, at surface, if I were to pump water 10 feet underground, under the floor, you'd feel the floor. That's, the water would go this way, and the rocks would separate this way. When you get down below 2,500 feet or 3,000 feet, the opposite happens. Instead of being driven this way, it's driven up this way until the pressure starts to dissipate and it turns back. And so what you actually would see, if we could show you a schematic of a frac job at depth, is a series of fractures and ellipses coming in this direction.
The other thing that's very matter of fact about fracture growth under the earth, and it's based on least principal stresses. When you're deep, the fracture is narrow in this way, and it like Michael said, it grows like this. As you come up and your stresses in the rock change, that fracture no longer grows this way. It's this way. Above probably 2,000 feet. If you go in shallow wells in Pennsylvania, tell us this for years, you can go in and an open hole in a wellbore, you can stimulate a zone that's 4 feet from another zone and not communicate between those two zones in a wellbore. Literally 4 feet apart. So you can't move that fracture 4 feet up. It literally only goes this way.
So when you're fracking, you frack the casing and the cement too?
No, you basically poke in that one movie they showed you with an electric charge. You shoot a hole through the pipe through the cement.
The electric charge shoots the hole through the pipe and the cement.
It's like shooting a high-powered rifle. That's what you use.
But many holes go through the pipe.
Yeah, but not that far, by the way. This isn't.
Oh, that far apart?
No, I'm talking about the depth into the formation.
Yeah, some are, depending on the shots, you can get as far as 9, 12, 15 inches. I mean, they do a lot of work to design very oval-shaped charges that shoot a specific distance through certain materials, steel and cement. And they get you to the formation that you want to hydraulically fracture.
Let me just give you a time check now. It's about 8:33. We are in this space until 8:45. The library requests that we